So I think it was more or less top
it's
five
guys who you important guys for the class, the guys that you want, but let's keep it realistic. Obviously, they're not getting the top 5 guys in the country.
Sure.
Yep.
Based on the guys that you know are top targets right now, who are and somewhat obtainable at least, who are your top 5 wants? So I'll tell you who mine were. Mine were Joseph, and this is no order.
Okay.
Joseph Phillips,
Mm-hmm.
edge, Jack, linebacker from Tuskegee. I had DJ Barber in there, who's the inside backer from Clay Chalkville. I think this has got to be a big linebacker class altogether.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Perry Thompson, and I don't think of the 40 or so people that commented, I don't think he was left out by anybody. Perry Thompson, he's an Alabama commit, wide receiver from Foley. Yeah.
By me, he was left out. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh, you left him out, J-Head. Man.
Yeah.
How did I miss that? Okay. He was consensus besides J-Head. How about that? Jeremiah Beeman, Parker High School, defensive lineman, versatile guy. And then Nycar, receiver from Colquitt County, who is committed to Georgia. Those are my 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4 in-state guys. To me, that's important. I feel like that is number 1 right now.
Absolutely. J-Head, why? Let me get your 5, and then little explanation on leaving the Beeman out.
Okay. No, Beeman's in.
Okay.
Perry Thompson's not.
Oh, okay.
In fact, Jeremiah Beeman, look, it's a big man league. You need difference makers at the line of scrimmage. Jeremiah Beeman is a difference maker. He's the number 1 player on my board that I want. It's a realistic get for Auburn. Number 2, Daniel Hill. I think he is an absolute freak show at running back. He's got the ability to do so many different things. I mean, when you put on his highlight clips, he goes from hitting the home run to pounding out a 10-yard, just grinding out a tough 10-yard gain. And then he's running down the field catching fade patterns and back shoulder balls, playing linebacker. I mean, he is just an unreal athlete that I think when he gets into a college strength and conditioning program and in a position group or a position room where he can really thrive and work in that one position, you're talking about an NFL type player. Like I think whoever lands him, if it's Auburn, great. But wherever that kid goes, I'm going to be a fan because I just think he's got that kind of ability. Deuce McAllister is who I would comp him to, if I'm being completely honest. He's got that kind of upside.
Ace, Deuce, and plenty of use.
You got it, brother. Number 3 on my list, a name that everybody should know. He's going to blow up. TJ Moore. 6'4".
It's good pick.
Tampa Catholic, 6'4", maybe pushing 6'5" at this point. All the big boys are in on him. Auburn was the first big offer, but since then, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State. Ohio State does not miss on wide receiver prospects, guys, and they are pushing for him. Okay? Love the matchup, but he's got a lot of Laquan Treadwell to his game, that big physical X receiver that can go get it. I think he's also got some speed on the outside, probably about a 4.5, maybe 4.6 guy. But the ability to go up and make plays in phase, and he can get vertical in the red zone. But Cameron Brown is probably the only receiver we've got, minus maybe the transfer we brought in, that can really do that for us this year. We need some big bodies on the perimeter. I mean, absolutely need some big bodies. And to me, he's a difference maker. The next 2 are outside pass rushers, which, I mean, if you're paying attention to the recruiting right now, our recruiting rooms right now, you need an outside linebacker in this class right now just to fill the room out. I think you've only got 3 to 4 guys that are really capable of playing that jack position. And that possibly you're losing McAllister. You may lose another one. Who knows, given attrition. But I've got Jordan Ross, jack linebacker / edge target from the State of the Hills, and then Joseph Phillips, outside linebacker from Tuskegee. Both of those guys are absolutely going to be pass rushers at the next level. They're guys that can create negative plays. They're difference makers. In the way the game is played today, you cannot have enough pass rushers that you're putting on the field at one time. And then as a bonus candidate, I've got 4-star top 10 player in the state of Georgia, Jalen Crawford, cornerback. I think Zach Etheridge can win that matchup. I know that people tend to favor LSU. I like Zach in this matchup, guys. I really, really do. And I think him and McGriff are starting to hone in on this kid.
Okay. Good
Absolutely.
stuff there. I've got excuse me. I've got Jeremiah Beeman and Joseph Phillips.
Yep.
I got to have some defensive line on my offensive line. Chase Malamala.
I like it.
Interesting.
I had to have an offensive lineman in there, and just going through there, some of the realistic guys. I know John Wayne Oliver is another guy, but I had to have an O lineman in my list. Cam Coleman.
Oh yeah, Cam Coleman's a great pick. Didn't see him as much on there just because Perry Thompson maybe stole a little limelight there, but yeah.
I had both of those guys on there. I had to choose one. And also, just from the perception, his offer list, Jeffrey Rush from Mississippi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jeffrey Rush, a big edge guy. So let's see: Jeremiah Beeman, Joseph Phillips, Cam Coleman, Chase Malamala, Jeff Rush, and a couple of other names. And I don't know how good he is. I just know a lot of people want him. Xavier Hamilton. And I think Auburn's got a really good shot with him. I don't know how good he is. Martavius Collins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Athlete from Rome. I think, I think give me the two defensive linemen, Jeremiah Beeman, Joseph Phillips. Damn good defensive line start there. Cam Coleman, offensive tackle, man. And it could be John Wayne Oliver. It could be whoever. But I think Chase Malamala was up for – was he a Sunday visitor that weekend, Cole?
No,
was he there?
He was there. I talked
to him.
I talked to him and his parents for a while that day. So
was he 6'8"?
He's up there. His dad's like 6'8". I know that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's those guys, and I think we had a lot of different names in there. Probably build a top 10 out of that list.
You know what's interesting? It occurred to me while we were doing this. I'm not necessarily comparing to the other staff, just to other staffs in general. What I think this staff understands pretty well, from my observation, is, hey, we have a chance with Joseph Phillips. We have a chance with DJ Barber. We have a chance with Perry Thompson. Before we start moving on to other things, let's go ahead and lock that down.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe the board looks a little smaller than it did last year, but that's because they said, all right, we're not moving on from this until we get this done. That's what it feels like. Or until he says, no, I'm not coming.
Right.
That's what it occurred to me as we're talking, because we all have similar names.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like they've honed in on those names. And then outside of that, we kind of struggle to come up with new names. I think there are more names, but it's like, hey, we'll get back to you in a minute. This guy, we got a shot right here.